Welcome back to the last episode of our Gangnam Loft apartment series with my friend Tony, who you guys really loved. In the last episode, I helped Tony create a sort of like minimalist hotel style bedroom that he loved. And in this episode, we're gonna start tackling the downstairs. We're creating a walk-in closet, and we have this sort of like elevated platform living room situation going on. You'll see in just a minute, but it was definitely a challenge. You guys, I still apologize for audio levels. The microphones are on their way, but you won't actually notice it for a few videos. So thank you for your patience. And I completely agree. I love this ladder ham because it is just so simple and sturdy. And I love that you can change the sofa covers with companies like BIMS. And send me your TSD projects at the Suitcase Designer on Instagram and I will share them. Fittingly, today's video is sponsored by Tony's company, Soul Guide Medical and Iron Plastic Surgery. SGM is an amazing service for foreigners living or traveling to Korea who need help navigating the cosmetic or the medical industry in Seoul. Before leaving Korea, it had been my dream to have under-eye fat repositioning surgery done, and thanks to Tony, we teamed up with Iron Plastic Surgery in Apgujeong, which is one of the top clinics if you're looking to get any facial cosmetic surgery done. They are the best. Iron made my dreams come true. I am so happy with the results. I'll finally share my before and afters with you guys today. And Tony has a very special skincare box for our TSD audience today. I'm gonna give you all those details later because first we need to start jumping into our makeover. Tony's downstairs is very spacious, but we do have quite a lot going on. We have the kitchen over here, we have a music setup, the art studio, we have a dining area, and it's also supposed to be the lounge area. We also have kind of a herb garden going on. We've got lots of mirrors and bookshelves holding single bottles of alcohol that he doesn't drink because he doesn't drink. And we also have a closet back there. They're the ones next to the bamboo on the left, and where Tony is, that is his kitchen area. So I happen to know that a lot of the furniture, bookshelves that you're seeing, those are items that were either from Tony's previous apartment that he moved here, or those are things that he found in the dumpsters downstairs that he brought up. And I feel like we're just not making the best use of his space here. Like this desk, I don't think he really even uses the desk here. And for the closets back here, the closets are so crammed that you really have to maneuver if you want to open the doors while you're in there. And then whenever you finally get the door open, you'll notice that there's just a lot of potential here. There's so much potential. He just has kitchen stuff in his closet area, and in this other closet that is facing the window, you can see that it's kind of storing a lot of things, but it's missing a rod. So remember that rod. And then up high, he does have his coats, but even there, those are very nice coats, but I feel like they could just look better. Over here in his closet area, he has a ton of masks and some other unused space. This is a closet towards the front of the house, across from the kitchen. You can see it's holding one coat. Here we have shoes in the kitchen area. As for the kitchen, we're not going to be messing with the countertops or any of the tile work, anything in the kitchen other than this black area. So this is quite funny. If you look up close, you'll notice that that top board is actually balancing, or it's being held together, I should say, by all of the alcohol. And here it's balancing on this speaker that can definitely move, which is quite creative, and it's just something that a guy would do. My brother probably did this in his college dorm room. And the windows, I think if we quickly remove the blinds and we just move the curtain rod up higher, it's going to dramatically change the appearance of the windows and make the view even more amazing. And last but not least, we have our favorite platform. You remember this? Before we jump into more details of Tony's loft transformation, Tony's company, Soul Guide Medical and Iron Plastic Surgery are so kindly sponsoring today's video, and in not one, but two different ways. The second of which involves a K-Beauty box with some of my favorite skincare products. We're gonna get into that at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that before we left Korea, I had 2 different eye surgeries. This was something that I had been thinking about doing for 6 years, and I told Jackson that before we left Korea, I wanted to get this done. I wanted to go to Gangnam, which is the plastic surgery capital of the world. That's where Tony lives. And not only are cosmetic procedures so much cheaper in Gangnam, but you also have access to some of the most skilled surgeons in the industry with the most advanced equipment. And that is one of the things I love about Korea. And it's not just cosmetic surgery. The same goes for other medical procedures or surgeries or something like LASIK. Soul Guide Medical is the #1 medical tourism provider that helps you arrange and navigate any medical or cosmetic procedures in Seoul. They talk to the doctors with you, they translate, they can help you with arranging lodging and transportation, arrange appointments at the best clinics that suit your needs, and they stay with you the entire procedure, which made me feel so much calmer than I would have alone. Personally, I think it's absolutely worth it to use Tony's company because they've been doing this for a long time and he knows the clinics you want to use and the ones you don't. He will send you to the very best clinic. For the surgery, I had told Tony that I've always been very self-conscious of my under eye area. It's genetic, but it made me look tired every day, and it's one of the reasons I kept wearing glasses all these years. Tony took me to the best of the best at Iron Plastic Surgery. The reason why Tony suggested Iron is because of all the facial surgeries he's seen, which are a lot. Iron is the best and they cause the least amount of bruising to the face. After meeting with my doctor, he said that I would not only need fat repositioning, but I would also need fat grafted because my under eyes were caused by a lack of fat. So this was done in 2 different surgeries before leaving Korea. For the first surgery, which I didn't know this, your body reabsorbs a majority of the fat that had been injected, which is why you go back 1 month later for the second surgery. And that's why Iron keeps your grafted fat for a month so that you can go back for that second procedure. Iron was very honest with me about the limits to cosmetic surgery, and they told me never expect 100% results or perfection because everybody is different and it's going to handle these procedures different, but I should expect about a 70 to 80% improvement in my overall eye look. I had my second surgery the week before we left Korea, so it's now been 2 months and I am so happy with my results. I think mine did improve about 80%, but my self-confidence is definitely what improved the most. But I mean, hell, this is the first time in 20 years I've been brave enough to not wear my glasses because I'm not afraid of my under eyes. I'm so thankful that I had Tony's help to navigate this process, and I really can't recommend Iron Plastic Surgery enough. Seriously, if you guys ever have big medical or cosmetic procedures that you need done, go to Korea. And for anything face related, check out Iron. And now back to Tony's makeover, and stay tuned at the very end of this video for all of the details about our K-Beauty box. When I went to see Tony's space for the first time, I asked him what his needs were for the space, and this is what he said. The platform stays, which at first I was like, oh my god, no, not again. But once I asked him about the platform, it made perfect sense. What he said was that you're unable to see the view if you aren't sitting on the platform, but if you're sitting on top of it, you can fully enjoy the awesome view. If you're paying to live in Gangnam, you want to enjoy those views. You don't want to see the beam in front of your eyes. Totally understand that. And Tony doesn't want to waste money on the bed platform because it was so expensive. He also specifically said he didn't want a sofa or any traditional seating outside of dining chairs, which is going to be a challenge. He also wanted space to grow his herb garden, and he specifically wanted me to tell you that his closets were something that he found in the trash can downstairs. They're $1,000 closets, and they work very well for him. And you can see they barely fit, but they fit, and they work, so we're going to keep them. And as far as design style goes, in the beginning he wasn't quite sure what he wanted, but naturally he just had a lot of Asian influence in his pieces. When I first saw Tony's face and when I talked with him, I noticed these 2 things right away. He didn't like his downstairs. He wasn't proud of it, and because of that, whether knowingly or unknowingly, he didn't spend any time at home. And I know Tony will now agree with me joking about this, but his space looked like my brother's college dorm room from the early 2000s. It was a hodgepodge of pieces that he had found on the street, some he'd brought over from his old apartment, and some that were just, well, being held together in only the way that a dude would put them together. Mostly it stuck out to me that his space did not reflect the successful businessman that he is, and then just walking around it kind of felt unbalanced. To be completely honest, when we started the makeover, I had no idea what to do with the platform. I was fresh off of Annie's makeover and I was just feeling overwhelmed by it and a little stuck. And what I like to do whenever I get in those situations is to follow the TSD principles of clean, declutter, organize, and then design. I always think that's a really great place to start, and especially if you live in a small space, you have to be so thoughtful and strategic about what you do. And by following those steps when I live in a small space, I find that it just helps me live so much more easily and comfortably in my space. As far as cleaning goes, Tony has the cleanest space of any that I have seen, so we can just move forward with that one. For the declutter portion, I went through with Tony and asked him about what he wanted to keep and what could go. The desk was the one thing that he said he didn't need at home and he would just take it to the office. And the bookshelves he no longer needed as well. Actually, at first, I only suggested retiring one bookshelf, not wanting to push him too much, but on his own, he actually decided that he needed to let all of them go. Overall, I think Tony is very minimalistic in his design style, but he does have a weakness for free furniture. So outside of that, he really doesn't have much that he needs to declutter, but we will get to the furniture. But he did have an entire closet that we needed to get organized. If you remember from the first episode, we took Tony's upstairs closet and we turned that into a home gym, and I moved all of his clothes downstairs, which actually works very well for the flow of his space downstairs. I think Tony is actually a lot like us. He knows what he likes and he dislikes in his space, but he was just feeling really overwhelmed in his space. He didn't know where to start. So what I quickly realized was that it's not design that I need to help him with. It's creating a layout that's more functional for his space and getting him organized so that he can get unstuck and have his visions come to life. I went through and reorganized his clothes and tried to make everything fit, since we did bring the upstairs closet and we added it to what he already had. The next step was to figure out what the best layout was for the space, and this took hours of Jackson and I pondering and moving the closets around to figure out. It was just a real puzzle. We finally landed on moving the closets so that they created a sort of walk-in closet situation, which would also create more separation between his closets and his living dining area, while also not cutting off the flow of light throughout the space. And trust me when I say that we tried every possible layout with these closets. So after the closet layout was set, I had to have a heart-to-heart with Tony. And here's something you need to know about Tony. He has no trouble buying a Gucci shirt, but when it comes to like spending just a little bit of money on something like hangers for his closet, good luck getting him to do that. He had a lot of very nice designer clothing, but they were on these wire hangers that he no doubt found from the trash bin downstairs and was repurposing them, which is awesome. But I called Tony and I said, Tony, this is not negotiable. I need you to spend about $50 to buy new hangers for your closet, because I guarantee it's going to completely transform the look and feel of your closet. So he agreed and we got all new hangers for his space. In the end, we decided on black velvet hangers and pants hangers, which they came in blue. They were supposed to be black, but whatever. And while those were being ordered, I did my own trash exploration. In Korea, if you want to get rid of any of your furniture items, you have to pay for this sticker to put on top of your furniture, and then a truck comes and they will take it away. And what happens in these big apartment complexes is that these piles of furniture just keeps growing, and you'll have anything from disgusting furniture to perfectly new, nice furniture that people just don't want anymore. So that's what Tony had been doing, and I myself have scored some amazing finds in the furniture pile. And it just so happened when I was working in Tony's space, working in the closets, we had 5 closets that were very similar to the ones Tony had. So I went out there one day and I measured all of them because we needed one more rod for his closet. There was one up top, there was nothing on bottom, so it was really just like wasted space. But I wanted one more rod so that we could hang all of his pants up there. And it just so happened that out of the 5 closets, there was one that had one rod that was perfect for Tony's space. So I grabbed it thinking Tony would be so proud of that one rod. We installed it and it was perfect. So I grabbed that and we were able to add that to his closet, creating more space for us to hang clothing. In the end, Tony loved his newly organized closet, and I believe his words were, "I can't believe I didn't do this sooner. My closet feels so different." He said it felt more luxurious, and all we did was change the hangers. All right, so moving on to the design. I totally understand why Tony wants to keep the platform, and building onto it would have been ideal, but in Korea, having things custom made can be quite expensive. Tony has an idea using milk cartons. That's a really affordable way to fill it in. So he's going to try and build out the platform. He thinks he can do it for about $100 or less, or maybe $160, he said. Less than $200, he thinks he can complete the platform. What I suggested to Tony was that I thought the space would look more balanced if we were able to extend the platform across the entire wall that the window was on. And then Tony, being the very resourceful person that he is, he had the idea of using milk crates stacked on top of each other to fill all of the gaps in. And then an economical solution would be to cut wood to fit the top of those perfectly. I was really unsure of how it was going to look, but I was so surprised by the end result because it was such a clever way to build it out, something I never would have thought of. And with a few cosmetic tweaks, no one would ever know that it was milk crates. I feel like all of that was the push that Tony needed to help get him started over that hurdle and start transforming his space. Tony loved mahogany flooring and he'd always wanted to have it. And though I didn't think it was the best choice for the space, he loved it. And I think that's something that we all need to remember as we're just digesting interior design online these days. It doesn't matter if you don't love it because it's not your space. The only thing that matters is that whoever lives there loves it. And Tony loved this floor, and that's all that matters. I'm just gonna jump forward to the final looks of the space because Tony was so eager. I think all it took was removing that roadblock of the layout and getting him organized. Then he was able to really take off, and I kid you not, I didn't even have time to commute home until he'd started more projects. So let's jump ahead. In the end, he took out the blinds and he hung the curtains higher, so I would really capture the full effect of the view outside and open up the windows. And because he needed heavy-duty curtains to block out the sun, he had these velvet curtains from his office that he wasn't using, and he wanted to reuse them here, and they were the perfect length for his windows. He also had been moving out of one of his office, and he had this chandelier that he wanted to add. I really liked the previous one, but he loved this chandelier. And when I tell you that he loved it, I mean, he went into full depth of how amazing switching to it had been and how much he loved it. And he loved when the light would hit it and rainbows would cast throughout his apartment. He also swapped out his garden table for a full-size table that he now uses every night. And perhaps the most perplexing thing to me was, where do you sit if you don't have comfy chairs? And then one day I got the call from Tony that said this was a non-negotiable call. I couldn't argue. He had found some alpaca rugs. He was on his way to get them right then, and he wanted to use those for the seating arrangement in the living room and maybe in the closet. He also wanted to extend his wall of mirrors in a way that incorporated the existing ones he had on the wall, so he just extended it across the whole wall. Another thing Tony mentioned that he loved was that by closing off the closet area the way that we did, it had created a music corner, and now he sat down to play music more than he ever had previously because it was so much more inviting. And for the kitchen, we were really struggling to find a new piece of furniture for the area just because there were so many different colors going on already. And if you've ever lived in Asia, you'll know that you might only have like 3 different options for your furniture, and usually one of those would be like a neon print. In the end, we just decided on this one so that we could conceal more of his stuff and that it would be more functional for his kitchen area. In the end, it was just so rewarding to hear Tony talk about how much he loved his space and how much it had changed his life and how much more time he spent at home because he actually loved his apartment. And I believe his exact words were, "I love it more than the hotels I used to spend my time traveling to." Tony was able to create exactly what he wanted after just having a little push from a friend. So if you're feeling discouraged and you don't know where to start by trying the TSD method of cleaning, decluttering, organizing, and designing your space, and design your space for you so that you love it and you always want to come home to it. Now we have that special skincare box from Tony for the TSD audience. So thank you for watching the makeover. If you want to stay tuned and hear about that, stay tuned. In our bonus of the video, Tony asked me if I wanted to make a skincare box for our TSD audience, which is something else that Tony's company does. And I said, Hell yeah. So what that means is Tony has hooked up our TSD audience with some of my favorite skincare products, one that he even created himself, and some new fun ones to try. The first product you'll find in our TSD box are these sheet masks that I love. They are so good. They're so luxurious, and Tony actually made these himself. He did it. He had them created for his patients to help speed up their recovery time. Because after face surgery, you can't wash your face for quite some time. You start to feel super gross, but I love this mask. I think this is my third box. It is so hydrating. It's amazing. It's definitely one of those higher end masks that you save to use when you're having like a spa moment. This comes with 5 luxurious sheet masks. Next up is this cream, and oh my God, I love this cream. It's one of my greatest of all time. I first saw this in Annie's apartment makeover. She had these stockpiled and she was the one who recommended them first, and it is so good. I haven't found another cream like this. It's a gel-like texture and it just makes your skin so hydrated and dewy. This is definitely one of my all-time favorite face creams, and it also has a lot of clean ingredients. Next is this eye butter from Be Plain. They are growing in popularity so quickly. This eye butter is amazing. At first I wasn't sold on it because it's so thick, but I keep going back to it now because it's just really perfect, and I actually love how thick it is. So hydrating for your eyes, but it has never broken out my skin. And for me, one tube lasts a long time. For the next 2 products, one of my favorite things to do while living in Korea was to go to Olive Young and discover all the new skincare products, because you never know when you're gonna find your next holy grail. And Tony included a sense of discovery in our package too, with 2 new products for us to try out. The first of the discovery products is this toner, which Eunice actually has this on her skincare shelf, and I think the packaging is so beautiful, and it's another clean beauty product. Honestly, I know so many people who use this and love it. I know I'm going to love it. The last product is this AC cream that Tony recommended. And if you didn't notice, Tony has amazing skin. I'm really excited to try this one because it's suitable for all skin types, especially sensitive skin. It's just a lightweight cream for your face to help balance your skin condition by soothing, providing moisture, and protecting your skin. So here's what Tony is doing for all of these amazing products that are great for hydrating your skin, which is a key for helping prevent signs of aging, and overall, it'll help you achieve that dewy skin look. So all of these products are $230 if you were just to go buy them at the store, but for our TSD audience, we can get them for $89.99. And that also includes a $50 gift certificate that you can use in Seoul for any skin procedure. And that goes so far. In Seoul, you can get a facial plus a treatment, and it'll be the best facial of your entire life. Our TSD box ships globally within 3 days, and it is such a good deal if you live somewhere like America where K-beauty is just so much more expensive here. So $89 for 5 amazing K-beauty products, available while supplies last, coming straight to you from Tony's office in Gangnam. We really hope that you like the box and the products that we've picked out, and I can't wait to use this cream again because I've been waiting to film this for you guys, so now I can open it and spread it all over my face. It's just so good. To order your special TSD box, you can click on the link in the description box down below. If you have any questions, just leave them down below and either myself or Tony will get back to you. Thank you, Iron Plastic Surgery, and thank you, Soul Guide Medical, for sponsoring today's video.